Hello and welcome, guys. This time I have recorded our Friday night magic event hosted by QKey. We are playing on Cockatrice currently, and this is the final match. I'm playing Izzet partners, and QKey is running Leovold, as most of the time. And as you see, my first hand, this is not convincing enough. So I have to take a mulligan down to 6, and the second hand is better. I have a Bolt versus Leovold. I have the Hellkite to put some pressure on him, and the potential counterspell or creature bounce. So I'm pretty fun with that hand. He starts with the command tower. Yes, I draw the Dejection probe and try to resolve it. Unfortunately, he has a force spike. Now he follows up with an Anvil of Bogadam, which is actually quite good for me, since I need to draw some more cards or see more cards to put more pressure on him. And this way we both get the chance to loot some value as soon or as long as Leovold is not on the battlefield. I'm not under the soft lock here. Probably he's trying to get Leovold down, but he might also expect me to have a counterspell ready or anything that handles Leovold. Probably he's searching for a land here. Finds the land, passes the turn. And I'm also searching for a land. I have the command tower. I don't want to miss my land drops. So at that time we're playing a play land go game. And he's taking some time to consider which card to discard, trying to bring down Leovold, and I'm going to deny that by casting Mana Leak. He might have a Force of Will or something to interact with, since it took some time to think about it. And now I'm in a good position. I can just discard the shock, have a Searing Spear left if he ever gets to resolve Leovold. I have a Flash Body and a counterspell on hand. So yeah, I can just pass a turn and wait for whatever he's trying to do. I think it's not necessary for me, or there's no situation at which I have to cast the counterspell and the Searing Spear, so I can get down my Rattle Chains. He casts an Oko, of course I will play the Memory Lapse, which is okay for him it seems. And then I can get down the Rattle Chains to finally put some pressure on him. Yeah, the triggers pretty useless in this case, or it doesn't matter. And I draw a second spirit actually, which is quite nice, since Mausoleum Wanderer acts as a instant speed force spike for instant and sorcery spells with Rattle Chance on the board. So I attack, play Ludovic, go to end step, draw a card, and pass the turn. Unfortunately, I can't deny his Oko with my little Mausoleum Wanderer. So that's alright. But end of turn I can cast the Mausoleum Wanderer, and I have the Lightning Stormkin, which has haste. So he decides to elk his Anvil. And in theory I can fly over the Anvil. He goes for combat, and then he realizes that Ludovic has 4 toughness, so it makes no sense for him to go for that attack, and I flash in Mausoleum Wanderer, end of turn. Yeah, this Force of Will is okay if I draw a second blue card. So my thought process here is actually that I will get down the Lightning Stormkin to have potential 5 attack to kill Oko. And with the Searing Spear I want to get rid of Anvil to just roast his creature. And if he has anything to respond to that with his 1 mana, I can just counter it with the Mausoleum Wanderer, and I still have 5 attack on board to kill Oko. So in case that Anvil is dying. But there are various lines you could play in that situation. I decided for that one. Fortunately for me, he has no second answer for my flying creatures, so I can just fly over and swing down Oko. I don't draw a card with Ludovic because I didn't deal any damage to him. He's playing the Demonic Tutor, and I expect him to go for Toxic Deluge to deal with my board. He can also search Damnation, but it's pretty bad versus the Mausoleum Wanderer. So he even has a counterspell for my Territorial Hellkite. And this Hellkite is quite important to put some pressure on him, so I decide to sacrifice the Mausoleum Wanderer and attack for 8 in total, 10 actually. Yeah, and I think we missed the math there. It was 2 damage less. More actually. Luckily I draw a Ponder for my Force, which is quite good. And he's attacking, and I make a little mistake here. I think I'm only focusing on my Ludovic, and I think if he wants to get rid of Ludovic, if I block Anvil, he will cast Toxic for 1, but that's not the case because he wants to get rid of the other creatures as well. And I have a Force, and he has a Force as well. That's quite good. So he can get rid of all my creatures. And if we would have taken the 2 damage into account, he's already dead with my next draw, which is a Monastery Swift Spear. So I play that. He's on 0 hand cards. And I have some immediate pressure with Grim Lavamancer as well. So if he has anything that could block my creatures, it's not relevant because the Lavamancer ability would kill him. He's using the Gaia Reach and playing a Thoughtseize on himself to die in an honorable way. So we head over to the second game. He's on the play again. And again I have to take a mulligan because this hand is pretty bad against him. Puts no pressure at all. And I don't even have a fetch land to use my brainstorm. So the second hand again is good enough. I have early pressure. Brainstorm is not the best card if Leovold is already on board, but I will try to play it earlier. So I start with a Delver, which is quite good, in case I can flip it. He's going to fetch end of turn. And he's going to cast Scavenging Goose, I guess, yes. And it's super for me. So I have the upkeep trigger of Delver, and I see a Force Spike, which will flip Delver, and I can play my Burst Lightning to get rid of a Scavenging Ooze, having Force Spike on hand to deal with a potential turn 3 Leovold. And I roast this creature, pass the turn. Unexpectedly he plays a Wasteland to destroy my command tower, followed up by Brazen Boar, exactly, to bounce my Flip Delver, which is a pity, but it's not too bad. I have the Brainstorm in hand, so later on I can get back some instants or sorceries on top to reveal it once I have Delver down on the battlefield again. So I pass the turn, he still knows about my Force Spike. So there's no chance for him to play Leovold. And he just passes the turn. I look at my top card. It's not an instant or sorcery this time, but I'm happy about the Loyal Apprentice. Put down my land, play the Apprentice, go for combat. And he has an answer for it, which is quite good, because Loyal Apprentice can go nuts in a very short amount of time. So he decides to cast Leovold in his turn. I play Brainstorm in response, which synergizes with my Delver, and currently I don't need Pyrokinesis because I can't use it anyways. So I want to keep the counter spells, and Force Spike he already knows anyways, because I revealed it the first time, so I can easily reveal it the second time as well. Do not give him any additional information. Unfortunately, Leovold is online now, so I don't have to play Ludovic here to draw a second card, because I would simply not. But I can still put some pressure on with my Delver. Hoping to counter relevant spells with Force Spike and Spell Pierce. Yeah, of course he goes for combat. We're trading 3 damage to each other. He plays Uro, which is quite good at that point. With the fetch land on board, he has the fuel to cast him next turn. Gives him life, gives him ramp and a card draw. So there's the ramp land, and there's the normal land for this turn. Yeah, the best thing I can do here is I expect him to cast Uro next turn anyways, so Spell Pierce is not helpful Force Spike isn't either, so I play Chrome and it resolves. He has no answer to that, and I can deal 7 damage, which is quite good. He untaps, draws a card, and fetches, of course. For a tropical island. And with the Orborg, he's going for double blue and double green. As expected, casting Uro. And now he has 9 power on board, and he's getting 3 life back every turn. He attacks with Uro, so that puts a lot of pressure on me. Unfortunately, he's not casting a second spell to give me a card draw with Chrome. So now I draw the remand, which is quite unlucky because remanding the escaped Uro would have been good for me. He can't cast the Brazen Borer end of turn for 2 reasons. First, he has Tropical Island and Breeding Pool on board, so he won't find a blue source with the Wooded Foothills. Second, he knows about my Force Spike, so I don't need to worry about it. And here I make a mistake because I think I will block Leovold next turn or Uro. And later on I realized that I have enough life to just keep take the damage, and without the Flip Delver I'm not able to push enough damage on him, because now he will go back to 9 HP and Chrome does 4 damage, so if I don't draw into Fiery Confluence or Territorial Hellkite, I have no chance to finish him, and I have to finish him next turn. So that was a mistake here, to not attack. Fortunately, I realize it, and he wants to resolve his trigger first, of course, and that's where I realize, okay, if I would block this Leovold, he would just recast it and nothing changed. So yeah, just take the damage. He has his trigger. And now I have to kill him in that turn. So I hope for a good draw. And it is a good draw. I play the Storm King. And now for him it's time to play the Brazen Borer. He doesn't know that I can't deny it, but remanding the Borer would be pretty bad. He could bounce me any of those creatures, probably Chrome, but he doesn't know about it. So yeah, probably at that point he has no second counterspell to deal with any counter-based interaction. He still knows about my Force Spike, and he decides to play a Mystic Confluence to bounce all 3 creatures. Fortunately, I have a remand, and if he would respond with a second counterspell, I still have the Spell Pierce. He might also expect me to have a burn spell to get rid of his Brazen Borer. That's a reason for him not to play Brazen Borer, because it costs 3 mana and he has nothing left to play a Mystic Confluence. Fortunately for me, he has no second answer to my remand, and he would even need a third one. So at that time, he shows me his hand and it's GG.